Hey there, fellow fighters against the fog. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Mind Over Magic, Episode 3, Nurse's Office and Assembly. We don't have enough wood for the next ritual, nor do we have enough gut berries, but I probably want to wait until the rain stops so that when I harvest wood or gut berries, it won't get destroyed by the rain so quickly. Plus, the light is more of a pressing issue anyway. Okay, how's the rooms now? Almost lit. Okay, well lit, and we need one more torch in this mess hall for it to become lit. The larger the room is, the more light sources it will need. It doesn't need to be distributed, though, so you can have all your light in one little corner, and that's enough to light the room. There is some caveats, however, if you're trying to, like, grow things, you're going to want to distribute your light. So the other issue here is that this dining room needs a luxury of 10 or greater, and adding light to this room is removing luxury from the room. So we're going to put in the rug that I grabbed underneath the table to increase its attractiveness. Okay, first, combat. So there's a bunch of different types of fights in the game. There are fights where spectral rifts will open up, and the rifts will summon enemies that will either destroy things in your home or make it filthy or whatever. Then there are fights in the dungeon. There are fights on the surface that you have the option to choose to fight or not for resources. And then this is the final type of fight, which is fog incarnations. So this fog incarnation is going to slowly drift towards this room. So you see the red lining of my future scullery? It means that this fog incarnation is haunting this room. And what we can do is we can hunt the fog incarnation with our mages, our teaching mages, not the students, but the teachers, and do damage to it to wound it before it gets there. And if we kill it, it will drop sinew, visceras, eyeballs, and mana crystal. If it manages to get this room, you'll have 5 days to fight it, and if you don't, it basically destroys everything in the room and makes the room unusable. So what I've just done just now is I've told Cathanon, Locke, and Shield to hunt the fog incarnation to soften it up so it's easier for us to kill. So now they're fighting it, weakening it, but we don't have enough firepower to kill it before it gets to the future scullery, but that's fine. Softening it up is half the battle. So we've took it down to about a third, just a little beyond a third. So here it says, severe damage to room if not defeated in 5 days. I did 34 damage, 34% damage. The rewards are lessened now that it got there, but that's fine. So let's do our first fight. So one important thing to note, fill mana before battle, very important. I'm going to put Locke in front, Cathanon in front, Blythe and Alexandra in back. As you can see, Shield cannot fight. He's a ghost. He's not corporeal. So he can never be wounded or fight. So now, everyone in the 4 people that are going into the encounter are going to fill up their mana on the mana font, and then wait at the door to fight this battle. And here it is. Oh, let me slow down animation speed. So, you have turn order up here. Speed determines turn order. So Locke, my Earth Mage, has far and above the highest speed, which is actually very nice. As you can see, these enemies are partially wounded. And my turn order is I take my turns first, and then these belchers take their turn. Each mage has their own spells. So Locke has Earth Armor 1, Smash 2. Alexandra has Torrent 1, Soak 1. Blythe has Torrent 1, Soak 1. Cathanon has Recharge and Bolt 2. The reason I laid it out like this is that Earth mages have a taunting and self-armor ability, and then an attack ability if they're not hurt. Earth mages, I really can't imagine winning fights without Earth mages. They're just that important. Unless you have overwhelming firepower. So I'm going to cast Earth Armor on myself. So now I have an armor of 60, which will mitigate 60 of the damage incoming at me. These belchers do... Normally they would do 25 damage an attack, but because of my difficulty, they're doing 37. They do extra damage, and they have a lot more health as well. I think normally they'd have like 50 or 75, something like that. So what I want to do is whittle one of them down. So I'm going to whittle down this front left one. So the reason I put the water in the back is if you mouse over this, attacks an enemy, deals plus 10 damage when attacking from the back row. So they get a damage bonus for back row attacks. And as you can see, the mana cost for Torrent is 10, and they have 80 mana apiece. And then there's Soak. Soak does the same amount of damage as Torrent, but costs 4 times more, but it will lower the enemy's power and speed by 7. So the power lowers the damage that they'll do, and lowering their speed will change their turn order. But since all of them are taking turns after me, it doesn't matter. So this Belcher will die from Torrent. And then this Belcher here, I am going to Soak. And the reason I'm going to Soak is that these Belchers do 37 and 37 damage, and that will eat through Locke's shields. But if I Soak one, Locke's shields won't get as destroyed. So as you can see, he just lost 4 health instead of losing 11 or whatever. Or 14. He would have lost 14 health, I think. Yeah, he would have lost 14 health. Alright, so going to use Earth Armor again. Now, the thing about Bolt is I can attack any enemy with Bolt. Front row, back row, doesn't matter. So that's one of the powers of a Lightning Mage. So if the enemies have spellcasters in the back that are really dangerous, Lightning Mages can focus fire on them, ignoring the front row. And let's just wrap this fight up. I don't even really need to cast Earth Armor again, because this thing is dead. Done. Got Mana Crystal and Viscera. And the room is no longer haunted. So Locke is now wounded 4 hit points, meaning that every time he casts something, he has a 1% chance to misfire. There's also misfires as a result of having low conviction. So once we have the Scullery up and running, my new goal is going to be to get healing. So my priority right now is to research with Cathanon and research critical care. Critical care is a medical bed that will allow him to heal. And we can put it here, I guess, because we have a free room. So let's take a look at that, in fact. A nurse's office needs to be lofted, which means higher than it is wide. And this room happens to be lofted, so this could be a nurse office. Infirmary needs to be private. This wouldn't be private because it has 2 doors in. And then a hospital ward needs to be private and lofted. And again, these are randomized keywords. One of the reasons I went with water mages as well is water mages are good at healing. They're good at alchemy, and they they recharge medical beds better than other classes, which is why I chose them over other classes. Some classes are really good utility. Some classes are really good combat, and there's very few classes that are good at both. I would say Earth is really good at both. Fire is really good at both as well. Fire are your cooks, and they also hunt, and they fight real well. But I like to go water first anyway. So this room has 3 extra luxury than it needs. The problem is the light level. As you can see, I need to lighten it up. And if I add 2 more torches, it drops luxury level to the point where I don't get the benefit of it being a dining room. So what I'm trying to say is I need another way to illuminate the room which won't incur penalties. So I'm going to research light my fire. Or actually, maybe I'll research shine on. So shine on is a mana lantern. So mana lanterns illuminate. Well, no, I'm going to do shine on. Or light my fire. So braziers are a little bit more expensive to build, but they don't have luxury penalties. So I'll be able to put a brazier in this dimly lit room and have it still be a dining room. And let's go ahead and do another repel ritual, pushing this fog back. I wasn't super hyper-focused about if I lost anything in that. I don't think I was harvesting anything beyond the fog lines. But we also just unlocked critical care, and for that I need 6 phoenix flowers, which are these red-petaled phoenix kiss. So we'll get phoenix flowers for the med bed for Locke, who has lost 4 hit points. Additionally, so build a scullery and nurse station. So the benefit of the nurse station is you will recover a little bit more healing when you rest in it, and the requirement is 2 med beds. So I'm going to build a scullery and a nurse station. And for that, I am going to need Locke to get more iron. You can see Shield over here getting Phoenix Kisses. Actually, Locke, let's have you go to sleep. So Shield just harvested enough to build a medical bed. So I'm going to have Shield gather the materials and try to get the med bed built for Locke. Because when they're hurt, there's a huge conviction penalty of being in pain. So it's good to get that cleared as fast as you're able. I'm also going to change... Actually, I think the mess halls are allowed to have rec items. I'm just double checking. Yes, they're allowed to have rec items. So another thing I'll do is put an enchantophone, once I have a little bit more iron, in the mess hall, so that they can recreate. Can you get another ghost like Shield? No, he's unique. Cheers. He's the original founder of the school when it failed, canonically in story. So the medical bed can be used to heal you, so I can move Locke to do med rest in the medical bed. And then it's also filled up with water to increase the rate of healing as well. So as you can see, healing 2.5% per hour resting in this bed, and also an extra 1.25% per hour because it has water charging it up. And water mages charge up medical beds faster than other classes. But he will be up to 100% in no time, losing that minus 80 conviction. And he's healed. Now, I do want to get one more built here so that this can become a nurse room, which is a powerful extra healing bonus speed. Yeah, it's a water bed, I guess. Also going to be important for me to amass the resources I need for the next ritual as well. So, Locke, I actually don't need you getting stone. I need you getting iron. Cathanon is teaching. And I need 3 more phoenix flowers and 6 more ice petals. But I think we would more benefit getting an enchantophone. So that's going to be the next thing I craft, so that we have recreation. I'd also like to put a chest in here for food, and treat this as a pantry. Here is the enchantophone, and Alexandra is fully trained. She's a fully trained student, so she has maxed out her abilities, meaning that she can graduate. Got it. I'm going to make some changes to the layout of everything. And they're both fully trained. So at this point, I'm going to have a custom schedule here. And I'm going to create a new group. So fully trained students. So fully trained students is a member who is a student. Student. Who is skill capped for everything. And then, in terms of schedule, fully trained students are not going to go to class. There's no point. There's nothing to learn. So now, anytime a student caps out their skills, they just clean and haul and the like. All I need for that second med bed is a few phoenix flowers. Easy peasy. So we have a lot going on now. Shield is a great hauler, yes. Because they can phase through everything. So, question for you all. I am going to take on 2 more students. I didn't like what we rolled with initially. So, what school of magic to go with next? Fire, water, earth, air, nature, dark, nature, lightning. Talking about them, my 2 cents, probably fire or water is going to be the most useful. Locke is earth and Cathanon is lightning. So we already have earth and lightning represented. Fire are good hunters, fighters, and cooks. Water are good fighters and healers. Air magic is... so let me explain all of them. So fire is cooking, hunting, and destroying. Water is alchemy and cleaning. Dark is really good for utility, but they're terrible in combat. So there is a school of magic over here where you dark mages can summon. So if you're familiar with RimWorld, you know, like Haulerbots and Agrahans, basically Haulerbots and Agrahans. They can summon little quilted beasts that haul and clean and the like. So dark, in my opinion, is best for when the school of magic is a little bit more established and you have a lot of harvesting, hauling, and cleaning tasks. But early on, they're pretty weak on their own, other than their ability to make quilted helpers. All right, for the other magics, let me go back to here. Then you have nature. So nature are really good harvest, tending, chopping, and crafting wands. Nature is also pretty bad in combat. They're not super needed until late game when you have exotic resources to craft with, but early on they're pretty useless. And then air is assemble, paint, and haul, and they can be good in combat if you get really lucky with their rolls, but they're dedicated haulers, which is something that the Quilted Beast can do. So in my opinion, like fire and water are probably the best bets, but you're welcome to vote against me if you want. So the poll's over there. Because what we're going to do is we're going to graduate Alexandra and Blythe and take on new students. Hopefully students that we can actually fulfill all of their medallion requirements. Oh, the dining room needs to be skewed. My bad. We'll fix that. So at this point, yeah, let's build that wall before we cap it off. I'm going to move these old torches into the nurse room because we just unlocked braziers, which is going to be a better torch for the dining room. So this looks a little weird, but it's to fulfill the requirement of a skewed dining room. Duran, thank you for the resub. And Stochastic Turtle for the bits. And hello, I am Emily for the resub too. Cheers. So we're almost done with the things we wanted to do. We're making the Enchantophone so that we can have a little recreation. That's going to be much nicer for the next wave of students. And then also, this is what I was talking about, Relentless Boredom. This mage is fully trained and is ready to move on. So they're ready to either be hired or graduated. So I am planning on graduating them. So I'm going to change our current research from what we have now to basic rituals, which is what is required for graduation. Hey, Slime Puppy, thank you for the bits. So this room is... No, it is not skewed. All right, let me skew it some more. I thought it was skewed enough. That's super wonky. That should be enough. I can also change scheduling here. There we go. To incorporate recreation, now that we have an enchantophone. This chest here is going to be for meal ingredients and meals. And I'm going to put it on 5. The storage priorities do work. Oh, we have a spectral rift too. So this is another enemy type. Where is the spectral rift? It's in the hospital. Oh, that's inconvenient. So this spectral rift is going to, in 3.8 hours, summon a torch snuffer. Someone that spawns and destroys torches. So before I graduate Alexandra and Blythe, because they're highly trained students, I am going to make sure to fight the torch snuffer. So let's battle them. As you can see, they're water level 3 now. So as a result of being water level 3, they have they'll be hitting harder. And there we go. We have a scullery, we have a dining room, we have a mess hall, and soon this will be a nurse station. So the current priority now is to build a nurse station and what is the basic ritual room called? Assembly hall. So that we can graduate these students before they lose their mind with boredom. So this torch snuffer attacks an enemy for 60 damage, ouch, and drains 20 mana per attack. Luckily, my earth armor gives me 60 armor, so I should be able to win this fight without taking any damage. As you can see, because they're higher level, they hit harder. And now it's down to 10 HP. Bonk. He doesn't have enough mana. So when you pass, you regain mana. But in this case, it's fine because we win. We get ectoplasm and hallelujah blooms. So I want to build a ritual sigil. So that means I need viscera, iron, and phoenix flower. The problem is I'm going to not assemble the medical bed because I don't have enough iron unless I go exploring into the spine to do that. So I will also explore into the spine. We'll go into our first dungeon for the extra iron. So let me put that back. So Shield, you build that while the others go dungeoneering. So this will give me 10 iron, which is needed for the ritual sigil. So, 3 Belchers again. We know this fight. We've fought this fight. That means that if I play the same way I played before, last time I took a little damage, and that will probably happen again. Yep, here we go. 7 damage. Oh no, even more damage this time. These things are not soaked. And that's why we have med beds. Oh, I didn't mean to soak. Med to torrent. Oh well. Used more mana than I needed to. So like level 1 students really are terrible in combat, and then as they level up, they're a lot more usable. And the reason I got 2 students is probably pretty obvious. You can have up to 4 people attacking. So there is the iron that I wanted, and Locke, go back for it. Actually, Locke, you, med rest, Cathanon, go back for it. So there's different paths. Fungal Cavern gives Spore Caps, Stone and Viscera. Stone Ruins and Spine give different resources. And there's like, I don't want to spoil it, but there's different bonuses going different ways. So here is the students recreating at the Enchantophone with Cathanon. And Cathanon is now researching the ritual sigil so that I can graduate these students away. Additionally, we're going to want wand orders for 2 fire wands. And I might want to not graduate them until we push back the fog again. But there we go. We have a nurse office. So as a result of the nurse office, if we take a look at Locke and his healing progress, he's getting an extra 1.25 an hour for the nurse office for medical rest. So he's healing 5% per hour as a result of all those bonuses. Zifi, thank you for the 3rd year of resubbing. The gruel pot allows us to cook. The food that we have initially is bitter gruel if we planted bitter rice, which we don't, gutberry soup, and carcass stew. But as you can see here, there are conviction penalties for all of that, so which is why I'm not cooking anything. I'm just eating raw, because raw rats don't have any incurring penalties. So rituals, I'm going to need 10 phoenix flowers and 5 more viscera. So I'm getting the phoenix flowers, and then the viscera will be from hunting dire rats. Everything is now illuminated, so we won't get any void shrooms, and the research is done. So this is the ritual sigil that we need to build for graduation. Alright, Locke, let's have you hunt over mine. So we actually get the viscera needed for the sigil. I have enough wood, and where is my meals? I don't have enough gut berries for the next ritual, but I do have enough wood. So what to build next? I think probably a good one would be the intermediate classroom and get proper bedrooms. But what to focus on next? Better classroom or dorm and bedrooms. They kind of go hand in hand. I guess I could do an other as well. Let me put other. And I'll think of it an appropriate other if you want that. So the assembly hall needs to have a luxury of 7 or greater. So that's another thing that we're going to need to meet. Is this room here has a luxury of 0 due to all of the crummy torches. So we're going to want to fix it up a bit. I can actually move the rug down here and then replace the torches that we've got with braziers, and it should be fine. But in order to get those braziers, I'm going to need a few more phoenix flowers. So here is their rec meter. They're not very well recreated, but it's fine because they're moving on. And you guys want dorms and bedrooms. Okay, so once we graduate them, dorms and bedrooms will be the goal. So instead of actually deconstructing these wall torches, I'm just going to shrink them because we might have need of... I can reinstall them elsewhere. Here comes the fog, so that gut berry is going to disappear. We did keep the phoenix flowers, though, but only barely. And there we go. We have an assembly hall, which is needed for rituals. I just want to make sure it's well lit. And before we graduate the students, I'm going to have them do one more repel fog ritual. And then while they're repelling the fog, Locke is going to bring in a new student. Out with the old, in with the new. And hopefully it won't be Wolfkin, because we've been getting only Wolfkin, which is weird. And then hopefully it will be someone we'll want to bring on as staff, possibly. They are vivified. Taking a look there. They want to dance 30 times for extra water skill. So their water skill is 0, or 1. They'll go up to 2. They will teach twice as fast. And lightning. So not really that interested in this student. Alright, so Blythe, you're losing your bed to Cassie. Cassie, go sleep. And then, graduate. So, when you graduate students, depending on how many medallions they've filled out, you get scrolls. A fully medallioned student can graduate with honors for a big bonus to the graduating teachers. So I'm going to graduate these guys one at a time. Locke with Alexander, and then Cathanon with Blythe, because there's also a mood bonus for being the one who graduates them. And there we go. We have Adept Scrolls. So Adept Scrolls are scrolls used to hire new staff and summon gifted students. Gifted students are students that have more medallions and therefore a higher potential as a student. And that requires 15 Adept Scrolls per gifted student. Summoning a gifted student does require a staff to have a lightning skill of at least 3. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to be a lightning staff. So for instance, Cassie here has a lightning skill of 2, and if we have her break 3 things, her lightning skill cap will go up to 3. So she, as a fully trained staff member, hypothetically could also summon gifted students, not just Cathanon, who has a lightning skill of 3 as well. So here is the mood bonus for that. We have bittersweet feelings. So for a day, Locke will have a plus 10 mood. But what it does is it also tanks recreation. So basically they're happy, but they'll need to recreate a little bit more. So Cathanon, you are going to graduate Alexandria. Realizing that I'm cutting into their sleeping time, so they're going to be a little extra cranky tomorrow. And then while that happens, Shield, and Shield, because Shield's a ghost, doesn't have feelings, so there's no benefit for Shield to run these rituals. Because Shield does not have morale, does not have health, does not have food, does not have sleep. They're a ghost. And they're unique in that way. So then Cathanon, likewise... oh, weird. Cathanon did not get bittersweet feelings. And then the other one we got is Dakota. Another fire kid. So Dakota has a medallion to eat bitter gruel, which is something that we don't have. We would need to plant bitter rice. Has a medallion to overcome the burrower lava, which is not something we're going to do, and has a medallion to have high conviction. So this is not a fire student that I'm particularly interested in either. So what I might end up doing is do a third fire student, realizing that I will need another cot. Thank you for tuning in to Mind Over Magic, which originally streamed live on Twitch March 19th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in the next episode or upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow mages.